welcome to the State of the Pub, the very, very serious breakdown of everything that is happening from Crusader all the way up to Immortal and everything in between, and totally thorough and 100% amazing advice. We definitely promise. Don't listen to me. We have some actual pros here to give you the breakdown of the State of the Pub. Welcome to the show, Tanner and Adzantick. You might recognize them from State of the Breach, top tier UK Dota, best there is in the world. Tanner, when you go into your pubs, give us the real answer here. What is the hero that is always banned every time that you wish you could play?
Well, nowadays I'm playing Pos 4. Usually I'm looking to play a roamer, heavy roamer. I feel like the hero is Tiny. And I know Tiny's being picked a lot at the moment for like other roles, but I feel like every time I want to just, you know, toss some people around, you know, run around, help my mid, help my carry, I feel like Tiny's hero is always banned.
Adzantick, are you upset about this? Did you want to go for a ride on Tiny Airlines, or do you feel safe by this pick always being banned?
Oh, I enjoy the hero a lot as well, so I've been trying to practice it recently, but it's always banned. I'm quite upset about it as well.
Second thing, you can't answer Tiny. We need to give the people more news than just Tiny. What hero seems to actually be in every single match, no matter what you do?
Maybe Hoodwink? I feel like I see a lot of Hoodwink in my pubs.
Hoodwink. A few weeks ago there was no Hoodwink, and I was like, Tanner was playing Hoodwink, he's like, dude, you're owning on this hero. I think this hero is actually good. Like a week later, it's in every game. It's actually crazy.
So Tanner's a hipster setting the trends, and we have him to blame for squirrel spam. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes. A hero that's in every game though, I would say Snapfire right now. It doesn't really get banned, and it's almost in every game. AA as well. AA Snap.
What's the most overrated mid hero then? People are picking it, and it's trash. It's terrible. What are they doing with their lives?
Bristleback. I don't know. I think
Mid?
this hero's not as good as people think it is. With the Aghanim spell, but people, I don't know. It doesn't seem that great.
People seem to be picking Bristleback mid a lot, and I feel like they're not really understanding what's good about it. They usually rush an Ags, but like you can't really rush the Ags on the hero. The hero is supposed to be tanky, so yeah, so it's a bit overrated.
What is the hardest carry to actually support and give a good lane? You know, they're spamming, there's no wards, I lost my lane, and there's nothing you can do about it because they picked a carry that's just unsupportable.
So when I play Pos 5, I like to be an active Pos 5, so I like to play Snapfire or Enchantress, and I like my carry to have like a stun or slow. But usually I feel like maybe Spectre is a bit useless. Feels like this hero just wants to hit creeps and get out laning stage. She does throw a dagger every so often, but when she does throw it, it's like half a mana pool, so and it doesn't do really much damage. So I'd say maybe Spectre is probably one of the most unfun carry heroes to play with.
Az is over there shaking his head. Are you upset with Tanner, or are you upset with Spectre pickers?
I think it's anti-mage. I think if you have an anti-mage and he has a bad lane, he can't even jungle. He's just so useless. I don't know.
Also.
Yeah, anti-mage, at least Spectre can jungle, you know, with Blade Mail and Dispersion, but this anti-mage hero, if he loses his lane, and he can't farm any lane, the game's just over. The hero can't jungle. It's just so miserable to play with.
Now, what are your top 3? For heroes, not for you to play, for your teammates to pick. Who do you want them picking on your team?
Stuns?
Stuns are always good, you know? Easy spells to land, you know, targeted stuns.
Yes.
You know.
I love it when I get offlaners that pick stuns, and then I get offlaners that pick stuff like Silencer, Morana, I don't know. I just want to kill them.
Morana has a stun. It's, you know,
not reliable. It requires a stun. It requires a stun to stun, you know?
Well, if we take a look at the Dota buff trends, you know, some of them agree with you. Some of them, you might have some explaining to do. So there are some heroes that have, in the past month, had a significant win rate increase. Those 5 heroes with the greatest win rate increase in the last month are Hoodwinked, Broodmother, Bristleback, Lycan, and Batrider. Now, we already talked about the squirrel. Apparently, she's OP. She, been by OP, 50.7% win rate, by the way. So, basically, she's no longer trash, is what that says. Bristleback has gone up 2.5%, sitting at 53% win rate total. If he's overrated, what is he doing at over a 50% win rate?
The reason heroes like those have high win rates is because they usually picked in response to heroes that it counters. For example, Broodmother has a high win rate because she's kind of picked in the 4 different heroes that don't know how to deal with, or like can't deal with spiders. Same with Bristleback. Bristleback is picked in response to heroes like Broodmother or all these heavy unit spells, like heavy unit heroes. So it'll like, I bet Razor has a high win rate there as well. Razor will always naturally have a high win rate because they pick it into heroes like Nyx and...
Important note, this is all MMRs.
Yeah, it's true.
It is true, yeah.
Let's look at the heroes that have lost huge percentages on their win rate in the last month. Now the first one, I know the answer for this, but I'm gonna make you say it anyway. Why is Beastmaster terrible now?
Necro-free. Our beloved Necro-free. May he rest in peace. Got removed from the game. I feel like that was a big part of Beastmaster. He liked to build the item and he liked to push your tower in 7 minutes and maybe take over your entire jungle with his hawks and deward wards with Necro-free.
Beastmaster completely lost it. He went insane when they removed Necrovoke.
Yeah.
He started throwing axes relentlessly for like weeks straight. He wouldn't stop. He was destroying everyone until they had to put him down.
A blind rage.
They had to put him down, yeah. He was in a bloodlust. May he rest in peace.
The other heroes, sorry Snith, nobody cares about Chen. We don't need to go into that. Dawnbreaker, the last state of the trends in pubs. Is she balanced now? Are we?
I feel like we'll see when she gets added to Captain's mode, because a lot of pros don't like to spam these heroes before they're in Captain's mode, because Ice Frog has the final say on what they're like, how useful they are.
Oh my god, Hoodwink.
Yeah, Hoodwink got so many changes before it got added to Captain's
Hoodwink
mode.
got annihilated.
There was a whole 2 paragraphs in the patch notes, and it felt like it was a completely different hero. But it did end up working out, and the hero is strong now once people figured out it. But I feel like with Dawnbreaker, you'll never know until it comes to Captain's mode how strong it actually is.
These trends that we've been discussing in this state of the pub have been all MMRs. But if we break it down and take a look at that Immortal top tier bracket, Dawnbreaker is the only one, 5 most picked heroes in the Immortal bracket, with a positive win rate. So Lion, Snapfire, Dawnbreaker, Pudge, and Juggernaut are the most picked heroes. But Dawnbreaker is the only one with over a 50% win rate. Why are people sticking with these other heroes if they're not winning?
A lot of the heroes you mentioned are very easy to first pick, like Snapfire, Lion. I feel like in theory they're always going to be good in every game. You know, Lion, he's got a Hex, instant stun, and he's got follow-up, another stun, Lion, Earth Spike, and he's got burst. So I feel like you could pick this hero into anything. So usually when people first pick these heroes, they're naturally going to get countered. So yeah, I would say these heroes have a negative win rate because you see a Lion on enemy team, okay, I'm gonna pick Lifestealer, you know?
Yeah, they're usually first phase, whereas Dawnbreaker is usually picked around the second phase because it's a core hero.
What about heroes like Winter Wyvern or Ancient Apparition that are sitting at 55 to 56% win rate? They're first picked too. Do people just not feel like countering them?
It's the heroes. The heroes that are getting picked on the offlane right now are very tanky with Vanguard and AA and Wyvern are heroes that give you a lot of kill potential on these really tanky heroes. For example, Wyvern has percentage based damage on Hook here. There's like a lot of damage to these tanky heroes like X and Centaur. And the AA just gives you kill potential on like any hero. Like, yeah, if you're Centaur of 2k HP Vanguard like minute 15, if there's an AA on the enemy team, it doesn't even matter how tanky you are.
So why pick Lion?
I don't know. Stun.
This is my question.
Because you need stuns. Like if you're playing Puck, if you're playing AA into a Puck, you're gonna be sad. But if you're playing if you're playing Lion into a puck, I think you're gonna have a better time if you can you just hex him, right? You can precast hex and he goes in and he's dead. You don't have that kind of luxury on an AA. You're relying on your team to set things up.
And then everybody just picks Pudge because Pudge.
Pudge is fun.
Fun
Yeah.
hero.
So why is
fun.
Juggernaut sitting up there? This hero is picked in 17.5% of all of these matches, but is barely scratching at that 48% win rate. There are a lot of carries that are doing a lot better than Jug. So what is making him so appealing?
He was
feel like
versatile.
Yeah, versatile
He's
hero.
good at. He does everything, but he's not really amazing at anything. Like, he's a jack of all trades kind of hero. He's like, you can't go wrong with a Juggernaut pick. Let's just say that. Like,
Yeah, you can always.
you can't
blind
really
pick it.
count. Yeah.
All right, and now for everybody out there who's not in these divine immortal pubs, and you're like, I don't care what's happening with Lion up there, I just want to zap people in 2K. Okay, you know, we're gonna take a look. We're gonna shift to the other end of the MMR spectrum and give you the report for the normal people. You're welcome. Although these are the lowest MMRs. So in the lowest MMR brackets, Meepo, Underlord, Ancient Apparition, Ogre Magi, and Wraith King have the highest win rates. We don't need to talk about Meepo. We know why Meepo has the highest win rate in that bracket. We don't need to touch that. It's a separate problem. What are the key tips for MMR players to beat? Let's start with Underlord.
I know you mentioned Darkseer and Underlord. I feel like these heroes are probably stronger at lower MMRs because they naturally push lanes. And I know at lower MMRs people don't really value objectives as much. So when these waves push into your tower, maybe people aren't defending the towers, and then eventually the tower dies, and it eventually leads to your throne exploding. So maybe value your waves, push out waves just like Darkseer and Underlord, and defend your towers, because I feel like that's probably a big part to their win rates.
What do you do to deal with a Wraith King? Is it the same answer?
Well, Wraith King likes to push, but I'd say there's easier counters to Wraith King. You know, mana burning, especially before minute 20, before he can get his shard. So like,
I
heroes
think
like
Wraith
Invoker.
King, similar to Darkseer and Lord, he spawns skeletons that you can't control, so lower MMR players will just go for split pushing without even knowing it. These skeletons will go push lanes.
Yeah.
And yeah, just push lanes versus Wraith King. I don't know, build mana burn items as Diffusal Blade. I think it's a pretty good item.
Yeah.
Objective-based gaming and objective defensive gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's your low MMR, state of the pub. So now let's jump into the middle of the pack. The legends, forever trapped between embarrassment and bragging rights. They are the hungriest breed of Dota 2 player. Now, the key to winning in the legend bracket can often come from picking heroes that no one else is picking, because legends have no clue how to counter them because they never see them. Right now, the non-specialist heroes that have low pick rates and high win rates are Darkseer, Underlord, and Omni Knight. What do Darkseer, Underlord, and Omni Knight have in common? Why are they winning? What's happening with these heroes? I know we talked about it a little bit.
I think they make your team unkillable.
Yeah.
They build
like
team
to-
items.
They like to buy these pipes, these mechs, and they like to,
Alright.
you know, team
Alright,
fights are a
man.
lot easier when you've got like a 400 magic damage barrier for your team.
Yeah, I remember some Surrection 6 video, and he was like, all you have to do to win games in this bracket is keep your idiots alive longer than the enemy idiots. I think that's what all those heroes have in common. Obviously Darkseer and Underlord don't have utility or healing or saves like Omni Knight, but they build items like that, like Pipe and Guardians, just naturally. Omni Knight
What-
just has it built in anyway, you just heal your team.
So what's the best way to abuse these heroes to get a few more stars under your legend belt? Is it just instantly build mech every single game? Is it target objectives? Is it rotate and group up with their team? You know, what's the core defining principle that's gonna help a 3K player become a 3,500 MMR player? Big
Think-
steps.
Maybe looking into the middle game when you're looking to team fight with your team. I know item times are going to be a lot slower when you're a lower MMR, so maybe aim for minute 25 to 35. Just make sure you have a pipe, or like you don't have to get as early as that, but like you can buy some laning items. You can maybe buy an item for yourself.
Atos.
Yep, like even Atos to help catch. But by minute 25 to 35, like Ad said, just keep your idiots alive before the enemy idiots, and you should be good to go.
Yes.
Okay, and last a question for this state of the pub. This is the first one that we're doing with Into the Breach, but we will be back with more, so you will see this regularly. However, Aghanim's shards, relatively new to the game, not discussed that much. In general, do you think that Ag shards are necessary buys for most heroes?
You know, knowing what your shard does on your hero is definitely, you know, good. You should always read what your shard does, and maybe your Aghanims at the same time, because there are very strong ones, and some heroes you might even, you know, you might even, yeah, well, you can't even skip on them. Like, let's say, I think Dazzle's a pretty good example, you know? An AoE Hex on your Q for 1.5 seconds for 1400 gold. I mean, just look at Sheepstick. It's like 5.8k gold or something like that. It's crazy amount of value that you can get from these shards. So just definitely do your research, look up your hero, look up your shard, and just try and evaluate it based on other items.
Some shards are really strong. Like when we had Oathshakers, increasing the Oathshock duration. Not increasing it, but having it along the fissure, that one was way too broken. It was like a core item. I don't think shards are like a must-buy every game. I think they're supposed to be situational. Something like, for example, Pux gives Waning Rift True Sight, an alternative to carrying Dust. Just Waning Rift them to reveal wards as well, actually, and reveal invis units. Then you have Invokers spawning free meteors. Situational as well, not like an every game kind of thing.
This has been State of the Pub with Tanner and Adzantick. Stop banning Tiny and start picking tanky mech builders, both to make them happy in their pubs and to get a few more stars under your legend belts. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one.